Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, could I actually survive on less than $2,000 a month in 2025? At first glance, the answer feels like a big, loud no. Our rent is higher than ever. Groceries seem to cost double what they used to. And don't even get me started on utilities or medical bills. But here's the surprising truth. Not only is it possible, thousands of people across the US are already doing it. And many of them are finding ways to not just survive, but actually build a foundation for a better future. Hi, I'm David, and in today's video, we're going to dive deep into what it really looks like to live on under $2,000 a month here in 2025. This isn't just theory, this is real-world experience, because I've been there myself, and I know exactly how tight that kind of budget feels. Now, here's the catch. Living on $2,000 a month isn't about cutting out every single joy in life or being miserable forever. It's about adopting smart, frugal habits. Habits that stretch your money further, keep you afloat during tough times, and even set you up for opportunities down the road. In this video, I'll share 4 main areas of life where your choices make or break the budget. Food and groceries, housing and utilities, transportation and lifestyle expenses, everything else, from healthcare to entertainment. By the end, you'll not only see how it's possible to live on less than $2,000 a month, but also how to do it in a way that doesn't feel like punishment. So let's start where it hurts the most. The cost of food. When you're living on less than $2,000 a month, the first thing that eats away at your budget, no pun intended, is food. Now, here's the reality. Food prices in 2025 are wild. A single grocery trip can feel like you've burned through half your paycheck. But if you want to make $2,000 stretch, you absolutely cannot let food take up more than 25% of your income. That means no more than $500 a month for groceries. Sounds tough, right? Let me show you how it can work. The secret is becoming what I like to call an ingredient household. And here's what I mean. You're not buying prepackaged meals, frozen dinners, or random snacks that disappear in a day. You're buying basic building blocks. Things like rice, beans, pasta, oats, eggs, canned tomatoes, frozen veggies, flour, potatoes. From there, you turn them into full meals at home. Cooking from scratch is the #1 frugal hack. Not only does it save money, but it also usually makes healthier meals than takeout. But there's another piece to this puzzle, shopping the sales. Aha, let me give you an example. Instead of planning your meals first and then going to the store, you flip that around. You go to the store, check what's on sale, and then plan your meals around those items. That one mindset shift can cut your grocery bill in half. Here's a simple strategy I've used myself. Check weekly flyers before you shop. If chicken is half off, guess what's on the menu? Stock up on pantry staples when they're discounted. Pasta, rice, canned goods. These last forever. Batch cook. Make larger meals like soups, stews, or casseroles that stretch across multiple days. And let's be real, if you're living on $2,000 a month, food is not the place to splurge. But with discipline, creativity, and a willingness to cook, $500 a month for groceries is absolutely doable, even in 2025. And once you have food under control, the next monster expense is housing, which is where the real challenge begins. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, housing. Food is something you can cut down with strategy, but housing, that's a whole different beast. Rent prices in 2025 feel like they're designed to break people. And if you're living on less than $2,000 a month, this is where things get tricky. The golden rule is this: try to keep housing under 40% of your take-home pay. That means if you're living on $2,000 a month, your rent or mortgage needs to be $800 or less. And I know exactly what you're thinking. Where on earth am I finding rent that cheap? Here are the realistic options people are using right now. 1. Take on a roommate. Or 2. I know it's not glamorous, but splitting rent is one of the fastest ways to make housing affordable. A 2-bedroom at $1,400 becomes $700 each. That alone brings you under the $800 rule. I even know people who rent out part of their home, like a basement, an extra room, even just shared space with privacy dividers. It's not forever, but it's a powerful short-term strategy. Two, move back in with family. This one carries a stigma, but times have changed. A lot of young adults and even people in their 30s, you're living with parents or relatives to get ahead financially. If you can contribute a small amount for utilities or groceries, it's still far cheaper than paying rent on your own. And remember, this isn't a step backward. It's a smart financial move to reduce expenses so you can build a foundation for the future. 3, explore subsidized or income-based housing. Many cities and towns have government-assisted housing where rent is based on your income. Some programs charge around 30% of what you make, meaning if you're only earning $2,000 a month, rent could be closer to $600. Yes, there may be waiting lists. Yes, paperwork is a pain, but if you qualify, it can save you thousands a year. 4, consider downsizing or relocating. Big cities drain your wallet. Smaller towns, rural areas, or just moving into a smaller apartment or mobile home can cut housing costs drastically. A 2-bedroom instead of a 3, or living just outside of the city center might bring rent within range. Is it ideal? Maybe not, but it can give you breathing room in your budget. Utilities, the hidden budget killer. Once you lock down affordable housing, utilities can still eat you alive if you're not careful. Here are some frugal hacks. Electricity, unplug appliances, use LED bulbs, and be intentional about heating and cooling. Even 2 to 3 degrees can save you a lot. Water, take shorter showers, fix leaky faucets, and only run full loads of laundry or dishes. Internet, ask yourself if you really need home Wi-Fi. Libraries, coffee shops, and even fast food places offer free internet. Canceling your home internet could free up $50 to $70 a month. Phone plans. Skip the big carriers. Companies like Mint Mobile or prepaid plans can get you coverage for as little as $15 to $25 a month. And yes, a basic flip phone is still an option if money is really tight. Here's the truth. Housing and utilities are the hardest part of surviving on $2,000 a month. But if you can get creative, whether that's roommates, family, downsizing, or seeking assistance programs, you free up enough money to handle the rest of your expenses. Because once you've got food and shelter locked down, the next challenge is getting around. And transportation costs can quietly destroy your budget if you're not careful. Once food and housing are under control, the next big area that makes or breaks your budget is transportation. If you're living on less than $2,000 a month, the golden rule is no car payments. A $400 to $600 monthly loan on top of gas and insurance will sink your budget instantly. Instead, aim for a fully paid off used car, something simple, reliable, and easy to fix. If you live in a city with solid public transit, you can save even more by skipping a car altogether and relying on buses, trains, or biking. Now, let's talk about healthcare. This one's tricky because costs vary so much, but skipping coverage is risky. One medical emergency can wipe out your entire savings. Look into Medicaid, ACA marketplace subsidies, or local community clinics that offer low-cost care. Even if it's just basic coverage, it's protection against financial disaster. Then there's everything else, the little expenses that sneak up on you. Entertainment, clothing, eating out, subscriptions. This is where discipline matters most. Here's the mindset shift. Instead of asking, can I afford this right now? Ask, will this push me closer to stability or further away? A few practical swaps. Buy clothes at thrift shops instead of retail. Use free entertainment, parks, libraries, community events instead of costly nights out. Cut unnecessary subscriptions. You don't need 5 streaming platforms when one will do. When you add it all up, here's the truth. Living on less than $2,000 a month is tough, but not impossible. It requires trade-offs, creativity, and sometimes uncomfortable sacrifices, but it also teaches you discipline, resourcefulness, and resilience. Qualities that will serve you for life. Because if you can survive, even build a little savings on $2,000 a month, Imagine what you can do once your income grows. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment sharing your thoughts, and subscribe for more real-world money tips. Thanks for watching.